The galaxy scanned Earth and laughed. Low technology, loud politics, weak species. No one noticed one thing. Humans were born on a death world. The observation chamber of the Velkar Dominion was silent, except for the soft hum of ancient machines. Commander Reithvacker stood with his hands behind his back, staring at the blue planet rotating slowly on the massive holographic screen. Designation? He asked calmly. Sol 3, the analyst replied. Local name, Earth. Reith tilted his head. The planet looked harmless. Blue oceans, green land, white clouds, almost peaceful. Life status? Dominant species identified as humans. The analyst continued. Carbon-based. Fragile bodies. Internal conflicts. Divided governments. A few officers clicked their mandibles in amusement. Reith allowed himself a small smile. So this is the world blocking our expansion route. Yes, Commander. The Dominion needed new resources. Their stars were dying. Their systems were failing. And Earth sat exactly where they needed to pass. Reith folded his arms. Threat level? The analyst paused, then said confidently, minimal. That single word sealed the fate of an empire far away. Deep inside a quiet underground facility on Earth, a red warning light blinked to life. Human analysts stared at intercepted alien transmissions scrolling across dark screens. They think, we're weak. One officer said softly. Admiral Evan Cross didn't laugh. He didn't smile either. He simply said, good. Back aboard the Dominion flagship Ironwill, Reith reviewed the report again. Humans lived on a planet filled with disaster storms, earthquakes, predators, disease. And yet, they survived. Reith dismissed that thought. Survival doesn't mean strength, he said aloud. It means luck. The officers around him nodded. They had conquered dozens of worlds. Paradise worlds. Toxic worlds. Even some death worlds. Earth didn't look special. Prepare the fleet, Reith ordered. We move at dawn-cycle. Double quotes as the fleet jumped toward Earth. Human satellites quietly changed their positions. No alarms, no warnings, no challenge. Just silence. On Earth, Admiral Cross watched the sky through reinforced glass. They're coming, someone whispered. Cross nodded. Let them come close. Should we raise defenses? No, he replied. Not yet. The officer hesitated. Sir, if we wait too long, they need to believe the report. Cross said. They need to believe Earth is weak. The Dominion fleet exited warp near Earth orbit. Nothing happened. No weapons fired. No shields activated. No fleets moving to intercept. Reith frowned. Strange. Commander. An officer said, confused. No resistance detected. Reith laughed. Of course not. He turned toward the viewport. Earth floated there, beautiful and silent. A divided species, he said. They don't even agree on how to defend themselves. But something felt wrong. To quiet. Reith had seen fear before. This was not fear. This was patience. Deep inside Earth's network, a human technician whispered, all units in position. Admiral Cross closed his eyes for a moment. Then opened them. Phase 1 complete, he said. Above Earth, alien scanners, suddenly glitched. Signals vanished. New objects appeared, then disappeared again. Commander, an officer shouted, multiple. Unknown signatures. The lights flickered. Reith's smile faded. What is happening? The analyst's voice shook. Sir, these ships weren't there before. Hundreds of human warships uncloaked around the Dominion fleet. Silent. Motionless. Waiting. Reith felt something he had not felt in decades. Fear. Silence ruled space for 3 long seconds. Then the humans moved. Commander Reithvacker watched in disbelief as the newly revealed human ships did not charge forward like desperate defenders. They spread out instead, calm, precise, controlled. There, forming patterns, an officer said nervously. Reith narrowed his eyes. Predictable formations? No. Commander, they're adapting. Before he could respond, the void lit up. Human ships didn't fire massive beams or glowing plasma. Instead, hundreds of small flashes appeared across Dominion hulls. Then alarms screamed. Hull breaches on decks 7 through 12. Our shields didn't react. What hit us? Reith slammed his claw into the console. Report. The science officer's voice trembled. They're using kinetic weapons. High-velocity solid rounds. Our shields are tuned for energy attacks. Reith felt cold. Primitive weapons. Physical projectiles. The kind only Deathworld species still use. On Earth. Admiral Evan Cross watched. The battle unfolded on a curved tactical display. Railgun volleys confirmed. An officer announced. Cross nodded. Keep the fire tight. No wasted shots. One of the younger officers stared at the screen. Sir, they're bigger than us. Stronger hulls. Cross didn't look away. Bigger targets. Back in orbit, a Dominion cruiser shattered as a tungsten round punched through its core. No explosion. No warning, just sudden silence. They didn't even overload the reactor. An officer whispered. Reith understood then. Humans weren't trying to destroy ships. They were trying to end fights. Instantly, the Dominion fleet attempted to regroup, deploy counter barrages. Energy cannons roared to life, flooding space with brilliant light. But the human ships were already gone. They vanished, then reappeared behind the formation. How are they doing that? Reith roared. The answer came from the sensors. Short range. Warp jumps, Commander. Not for travel, only repositioning. Reith's crest flattened in shock. Who builds warp drives just to dodge? The humans spoke at last. A convoys filled Dominion comms, translated instantly. This is Admiral Evan Cross of Earth. Reith snarled. You dare address? We know you think we're weak. Cross continued. We read your reports. We listen to your analysts laugh. The Dominion bridge fell silent. Cross's voice never rose, never shook. You see, Commander, Earth is not kind. Human ships accelerated suddenly, not away, toward the planet. Dominion officers stared in confusion. They're descending into the atmosphere. Reith frowned. Why would they? The answer struck him like a blade. They're luring us. Admiral Cross gave the next. Order quietly. Pull them down. Human ships dipped into Earth's upper atmosphere, skimming storm clouds and violent turbulence. Dominion ships followed. Then the planet fought back. Gravity surged. Wind screamed. Sensors failed. Our stabilizers can't compensate. This atmosphere is tearing our whole plating apart. Reith clenched his jaw as his ship shook violently. Earth's storms weren't accidents. They were weapons. Human ships danced through hurricane winds like birds born in chaos. Dominion vessels struggled, dragged down by crushing gravity and unpredictable pressure. One cruiser lost control. It burned, then broke. Then vanished in the cloud and fire. Reith finally understood the truth. Humans didn't conquer nature. They survived it, and survival had shaped everything they built. Commander, an officer shouted, we're losing ships faster planetside than in space. Reith's claws dug into the armrest. This wasn't a battle. It was an environmental execution on Earth. Admiral Cross exhaled slowly. They chose our sky, he said. Bad choice. Dominion command channels erupted with panic, retreat orders, conflicting signals, desperate calculations. Reith stood slowly. All ships, he ordered grimly. Full withdrawal. But Earth was not finished. From beneath the clouds, something rose, metal, massive, silent. Human ground-to-orbit cannons. One fired. The sky cracked open. Reith's flagship shuddered as alarms screamed louder than ever before. Direct hit incoming. The last thing we saw was Earth below him. Wild, violent, alive. A world that should never have produced a spacefaring species, and yet it did. Commander Reith Vacker never imagined fearing a planet. Not its people, not its weapons. The planet itself. As his damaged flagship clawed its way back into high orbit, Reith watched Earth churn beneath him. Storm systems twisted like living beasts. Lightning stitched continents together. Gravity pulled at his bones even from space. This world is hostile by design. He muttered. No, Commander, the science officer whispered. It's alive. Despite heavy losses, Dominion high. Command demanded one thing. Confirmation that humans were not gods. Confirmation that Earth could be taken. A ground operation was ordered. Dominion dropships punched through the atmosphere in blazing streaks. Reinforced hulls screamed under pressure. Meant to crush most life forms, the soldiers inside were elite, genetically reinforced, trained for dozens of hostile environments, but Earth was not on any chart. The first drop zone was a wide green valley. Scans showed minimal structures, no visible defenses. It's too quiet, one soldier said. Then the ground shook. Human artillery thundered from miles away. Not energy weapons. Old-style explosive shells. They tore through Dominion lines with terrifying force. So much noise. A soldier gasped as shockwaves slammed his body. Earth was loud, painfully loud. Commander Reith listened to the battlefield feed. Commander, we are taking losses. From what source? Weather, terrain, ambushes, everything. Reith closed his eyes. They weren't fighting humans. They were fighting Earth with humans inside it. Human soldiers appeared from places Dominion scanners couldn't predict. Forests, hills, rivers. One squad emerged from underwater, weapons still firing. How are they moving like that? An officer cried. They are adapted. Commander, came the shaken reply. Their muscles, their lungs, they're built for pressure. A Dominion soldier fired at a human. The human fell, then stood back up. Armor cracked, body bruised. Still moving, still advancing. Earth gravity punished every Dominion step. Joints strained. Breathing hurt. Balance failed. Meanwhile, humans ran. Not elegantly, not perfectly. But endlessly. In a ruined city, Dominion forces attempted to regroup. Human drones buzzed overhead. Snipers waited patiently. Explosions echoed. The humans didn't rush. They hunted. One Dominion officer screamed as his unit was pinned down. They're smiling. They're what? The humans. They look excited. Fear crept into Reed's chest. A human platoon advanced through heavy fire. One soldier laughed. Another cursed cheerfully. A third dragged a wounded friend forward without slowing down. Pain didn't stop them. It only focused them. Reed finally received live footage. A human soldier, bleeding, dirt-covered, stared directly into a Dominion helmet camera. You picked the wrong planet, the human said calmly. Then the feed cut out. Dominion command ordered evacuation. Earth disagreed. Volcanic tremors disrupted landing zones. Storms swallowed extraction craft. Mud trapped armored walkers. Predators attacked wounded troops. Even the wildlife fought. Reed slammed his fist into the console. How did they survive here long enough to build cities? The answer came quietly. They didn't tame this world. Commander, the science officer said. They endured it, generation after generation, on Earth. Admiral Cross watched ground feeds with a heavy gaze. Send medical teams, he ordered. Sir, they're still in combat zones. Cross nodded. They'll complain later. Dominion survivors were captured. Exhausted. Broken. Shaking. Humans offered water. Medical aid. Food. It terrified them more than cruelty ever could. Reed received one final transmission from the surface. We surrender this operation, a Dominion captain whispered. This world cannot be conquered. Reed looked at Earth again. Not in hatred. In awe. As human banners rose over shattered Dominion equipment, one truth echoed across every channel. Earth is a death world, and humans were its native predators. News traveled faster than any ship. Within days, recordings of the failed invasion spread across the known galaxy. Were footage, broken fleets, soldiers dragged screaming from hurricane winds, Dominion armor crushed by gravity it could not resist. And, worst of all, humans walking through it like it was normal. The Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Never before had so many species gathered with such fear in their voices. Commander Reed Vacker, still recovering from Earth's gravity, sickness, stood in the center chamber. His scales were dull, his posture no longer proud. You invaded without approval, one counselor snapped. Reed didn't argue. You underestimated a death world, another said coldly. Reed raised his head. No, he replied. We underestimated humans. The chamber fell silent. Holograms activated, Earth storms, seismic events, volcanoes, predators. Gravity charged far above galactic average. One by one, council members recoiled. This world should not support complex life. A scientist whispered, and yet it does, Reed answered, because humans evolved inside suffering. A reptilian delegate leaned forward. You claim humans enjoy this. Reed hesitated. No, he said slowly. They are shaped by it. Pain is familiar to them. Danger is routine. Survival is casual. That word unsettled everyone. Footage played of human children training in harsh weather. Workers repairing structures during storms. Soldiers laughing while exhausted. This is not desperation, Reed said. This is culture, the council argued. Some demanded immediate containment. Others called for preemptive strikes. A few suggested isolation. Then a new transmission interrupted. Human signal. Open channel. Admiral Evan Cross appeared before the council. No threats. No weapons. Just calm eyes. We noticed you were talking about us. Cross said evenly. Several council members flinched. You have violated sovereign space. One barked. Cross nodded. You violated ours first. Silence again. We are not here to conquer. Cross continued. We don't want your systems. We don't want your resources. Reith watched carefully. Then why defend so violently? A counselor asked. Cross leaned forward slightly. Because Earth taught us something early. He said, anything that wants to kill you must be stopped. Completely. One council member whispered, Death World logic. Cross heard it. Yes. He replied, exactly. Cross displayed data. Human casualties. Environmental hazards survived. Recovery rates impossible by galactic standards. You see weakness. He said, because you see yourselves as fragile. The word stung. We see endurance. The council shifted uncomfortably. You weaponize your planet. An elder accused. Cross shook his head. No, we live on it. Reith felt something break inside him. All his life, he believed strong civilizations built safe worlds. Humans built nothing safe. They adapted. A counselor stood abruptly. If your species spreads, Cross interrupted gently, we already have. That caused panic. What? Where? How long? Cross smiled faintly. Long enough to know who watches us. He ended the transmission with a single statement. Earth will remain neutral, but we will not pretend to be harmless. The channel closed. The council chamber erupted. Fear replaced. Anger. They're everywhere. How many? We never saw them. Reith spoke one last time. You saw what you wanted to see. He said, we all did. On Earth, people returned to normal life. Storm repairs. City rebuilding. Training exercises. No celebrations. No victory parades. Just survival continuing. Admiral Cross stood on a balcony overlooking a city battered by rain. An officer approached. Sir, the council is divided. Cross nodded. Good. They fear. U.S. Cross looked at the storm. They should respect us, he said. Fear is optional. Far away. Reith stared at Earth on a distant screen. Once, he saw a prize. Now he saw a warning. The galaxy had awakened something ancient and stubborn. A species forged by disaster. A world that never forgave weakness. The galaxy did not learn from the Dominion's failure. It studied it, analyzed it, then decided it could do better. Far from Earth, within the cold void between stars. The Kryn Collective reached a conclusion. Unlike the Dominion, they would not invade. They would not land. They would not face Earth's storms or gravity. They would erase her from a distance. Clean, efficient, final. The first strike was silent. No warning fleets. No declarations. A gravitational destabilizer activated near Earth's system. Stars bent. Orbits tremble. Earth's moon shifted just slightly. Enough to cause tides to rise and plates to groan. On Earth, alarms began to howl. Admiral Evan Cross stared at the data feed. They're trying to break the system, an analyst said. If they succeed, the planet won't explode. It'll tear itself apart. Cross exhaled slowly. So, he said, they chose extinction. Cities evacuated along fault zones. Dams opened to release pressure. Emergency shelters sealed. Humanity did not panic. They had practiced this. Commander Reith Vacker, now stationed as an observer aboard a neutral relay, watched in disbelief. They're not scrambling. He muttered. They're preparing. Human fleets did not rush toward the enemy. They moved inward, toward Earth, toward defense platforms long hidden beneath oceans, mountains, and ice. The galaxy had never seen them before. Because humans never needed to show them, the Kryn fired again. Pulse meant to shatter Earth's magnetic field. It failed. Something pushed back, hard. What is resisting us? The Kryn overseer demanded. Sensor screamed in confusion. Earth's magnetic field was reinforced. Artificially. Layered. Fed by structures buried deep within the planet itself. They built. Into the planet? A Kryn scientist whispered. Yes. Another replied in horror. They integrated their technology with the Death World. Admiral Cross gave the next order. Activate. The anchors. From Earth's crust, ancient mechanisms awakened. Gravitational stabilizers. Planetary scale counterweights. Machines older than some alien civilizations. Built not for war, but for survival. The Kryn launched kinetic strikes. Rods of mass fell toward Earth at near-light speeds. Earth answered. The sky burned. Defense grids fired. Mountains opened. Oceans split as weapons rose and spoke. Not flashy, not elegant. Precise. Each shot calculated using Earth's own violent physics. Gravity-assisted kills. Kryn. War platforms vanished. One by one. Reith felt his claws tremble. This isn't a military response. He whispered. This is a planet defending itself. Then humans attacked. Not ships. Signals. Data floods. False stars. Phantom fleets. The Kryn systems began to collapse under impossible information loads. Human cyber units spoke one language fluently, chaos. You can't fight what doesn't care about pain, Cross said quietly, watching feeds. They grew up with it. The Kryn attempted retreat. Human ships followed briefly, then stopped. They did not chase. They sent a message. A simple transmission echoed across open space. This is Earth. We will not pursue you, but if you return, we will. The Kryn fled. Their survivors spread warnings. Do not provoke Earth. Do not test humans. Do not touch the death world. Reith finally understood. Humans were not dangerous because of their weapons. They were dangerous because nothing breaks them, not storms, not gravity, not extinction-level threats. On Earth, life continued. Repairs began. Children returned to schools. Farmers checked flooded fields. Someone fixed a broken bridge. Someone else complained about the weather. Admiral Cross removed his jacket and leaned against the console. Status? He asked. Planet stable. Casualties minimal. Cross nodded. Double quotes good. Reith watched Earth's blue glow from afar. A world that suffered endlessly and learned from every scar. A species that did not dominate nature, but endured it longer than anything else. The galaxy had its answer now. Earth was not protected by humans. Humans were protected by Earth. And together they were unstoppable. The galaxy waited. After the Kryn fled, no one spoke loudly anymore. No empires threatened. No fleets postured near Earth. No council sessions ended without one question hanging in the air. What will humans do now? Commander Reith Vacker stood alone inside the observation chamber of the neutral spire. Before him floated a rotating projection of Earth. Storms still raged. Fault lines still moved. Volcanoes still burned. Nothing had changed, and yet, everything. For the first time in recorded galactic history, a death world had spoken back in one. Not by conquest. By refusal. Across the galaxy, rumors grew. Humans were preparing an invasion. Humans were building planet killers. Humans were planning revenge. Fear spreads faster than truth. At the Galactic Council, panic reached its peak. We must strike first. One delegate screamed. They are too dangerous to exist unchecked. Another replied, trembling. They already chose not to destroy us. That matters. The chamber fell into chaos. Then the lights dimmed. A signal cut through every channel. Human. UNENCRYPTED. Public. Admiral Evan Cross appeared once more. This time, he was not calm. He looked tired, and that terrified them more than anger ever could. You're afraid, Cross said plainly. You should be. Silence. But you're afraid for the wrong reason. Reith leaned forward. You think we survived because we are violent. Cross continued. You think Earth made us monsters. His eyes hardened. Earth made us responsible. Images appeared. Human cities rebuilt after disasters. Rescue teams entering storms. People pulling strangers from wreckage. We don't need your pain because we love it, Cross said. We endure it because someone has to keep going. The counselor finally spoke. Then why not rule us? You clearly can. Cross didn't hesitate. Because ruling is easy, he said. Living with power is hard. Another image appeared. Human. Defense systems shutting down. Planetary weapons retracting. Fleet formations dispersing. Risk's breath caught. We could end wars, Cross said. We could control trade, resources, space lanes. He paused. We choose not to. The galaxy held its breath. Earth will not lead the galaxy, Cross declared. We will not police it. We will not conquer it. Fear shifted into confusion. But, Cross added quietly, Earth will be the line. Silence shattered. If you bring extinction, he continued, if you hunt worlds, if you enslave species, his voice dropped. You will answer to us. Reith felt the weight of it. Not a threat, a boundary. Cross leaned closer to the camera. We survived a death world, he said. We survived ourselves, and we will not allow the galaxy to become worse than Earth ever was. The transmission ended. No cheers followed. No applause. Just stillness. Days passed, then weeks. Then something unprecedented happened. Worlds began to disarm. Empires withdrew fleets from border systems. Slave markets went dark, not because humans attacked, because humans might. Reith returned to his homeworld months later. The halls felt smaller, the pride thinner. He addressed what remained of his people. We believed strength was domination, he said. We were wrong. You cannot threaten a species that calls storms weather and extinction history. The room was silent. Ears Later, Reed stood again beneath a distant sky, this time on Earth. The planet greeted him with rain, heavy, cold, relentless. He stood unprotected, letting it soak his scales. Pain bloomed. Then passed. A human child ran past him. Laughing. Another slipped in the mud. Stood back up, kept running. Reed understood then. This world never promised safety. It promised reality. Admiral Cross met him near a quiet city overlook. You came back, Cross said. Reed nodded. I wanted to understand, he replied, and Reed looked at the endless lights of human civilization flickering beneath the storm. I fear you, he said honestly. Cross smiled faintly. So do we. Reed took a breath. Then why trust yourselves with such power? Cross answered without looking away. Because Earth taught us the cost of mistakes. Lightning flashed. Thunder rolled. The city endured. Far beyond Earth, the galaxy adjusted. Wars became quieter. Cruelty became costly. Because somewhere out there was a death world that watched. Earth did not become an empire. It became a warning, a shelter, a final answer. And whenever a young alien asked why no one challenged humans anymore, the elders gave the same reply: because they survived the world that tried to kill them every day and chose mercy anyway.